Good evening, everybody. You know what time it is. It is 8:01 Pacific Standard Time. It is Sunday. You know where your cryptids are?
Yeah, he's back there.
Alrighty then, peopleage. We are still within our haunted house week, or month. Not that it hasn't been a long week. We are Season 4, Episode 14. Getting close to the almighty 20. Tonight we are talking about the Villisca Axe House.
Another Axe House.
Another Axe House. Not quite like Lizzie Borden, but it is another one of those.
It still has the same effect.
It still has the same effect. All right. Tammy is on a road trip. So she'll probably be joining us again next week.
Oh, yes. We got barn murder next week.
We got a barn murder next week.
Yeah.
It's going to be good next week. Get us right into the spooky season.
That it will.
So, again, Tammy has done a wonderful bang-up job on her report.
Man, she's even getting these to us like on a Tuesday or Wednesday. Man, she's quick with this stuff.
She is very quick, very good with it. That's why we hired her. Her money is terrible. Pay is horrendous.
Hey, she's in Wyoming right now.
She's in Wyoming. I don't think we've covered Wyoming yet. Have we? I don't know.
Sooner or later.
Sooner or later we'll get there. We got a lot of states to get through, a lot of topics to get through. But, on to the story. So, tonight is a real unsolved murder of whodunit. 8 people left dead at the hands of an axe murder. Did they act alone? It's been 113 years. We may never know the truth. Now, we are off to Iowa and the Villisca Axe Murder House. Of course, there's more axes and more murder houses. So, the history of the place.
And 113 years?
It's been 113 years.
Holy cow, and they've not solved it.
They have not solved it. So, baseline history. It was the night of June 9th, 1912 at the Moore home. An affluent family was well-liked in the community. Josiah and Sarah Moore had 4 children. Herman Montgomery, age 11. Mary Catherine, age 10. Arthur Boyd, age 7. And little Paul Vernon, aged 5. Mary Catherine invited over a couple of her friends, Ina and Lena Stillinger. Ina and Lena.
Say that 5 times fast.
These are my friends, Ina and Lena Stillinger. Let's stay over for night. Wow, I mean, come on. I mean, that's almost as trippy as Taylor Lautner marrying a woman named Taylor. So now they're Mr. and Mrs. Taylor and Taylor Lautner.
Not touching it.
It's craziness. They all went to the Children's Day program at the local Presbyterian church where Sarah had coordinated the program. All the kids participated in the event. Church was over about 9:30 p.m. and the family walked home together. Get home around 9:45 and 10 p.m. The next morning, everything was still quiet around 7 a.m. The family was usually outside working on chores by now. The neighbor, Mary Peckham, noticed this and it caused concern. It was not normal for the family. She decided to knock on the door and find out what was going on. She knocked, no one answered. She tried to open the door, but it was still locked. She decided she would help and let their chickens out for them. Something still didn't seem right, so she called Josiah Brothers Ross. He came over and knocked on the door, but still no one answered. He used the spare key to unlock the front door and went in while Mary stood guard at the door. Ross walked around and didn't see anyone in the house. He walked through the front parlor and opened the guest room door. He yelled out to Mary, "Call Hank now. He needs to get here now." Hank was Harry Horton, the local primary peace officer. Ross had discovered the bodies of the Stillinger sisters brutally bludgeoned to death in the guest room. Oh, so the Stillingers were sisters, Ina and...
Yeah.
I wonder if they were twins, and that was just a funky wordplay.
Hey, Signy's on. Hey, Signy. Aha.
Signy is on. Hello, Signy. Ross had discovered the bodies of the Stillinger sisters brutally bludgeoned to death in the guest room. The murder weapon was nearby. Hank arrived and searched through the rest of the house. He discovered the brutal murders of the rest of the family. The town doctor was called in to examine the bodies. He concluded that the murders took place between midnight and 5 a.m. Police searched the attic and they found 2 spent cigarettes. Could the killer or killers have lied in wait until the family returned to the house? Did they wait until all the family went to sleep before they carried out the horrendous attacks? All this and more tonight. These are some of the theories considered at the time. We will never know what truly happened leading to the attacks and why.
Tammy says the girls were not twins.
They were not twins. They were just sisters, and that was a weird... If they weren't twins, then you ruined a good naming pattern. They should have been twins, Ina and Strina. Get the rhyming down. Like my cousins are Rick and Russ, R and R. They're twins.
I
know, it's been a long week.
We're gonna go off rails here soon.
We're already off the rails. We're almost 8 minutes in. We're already off. We're off and running.
You're off and running.
We're off and running. There's no alcohol tonight, everybody.
Yeah, that's the problem.
We do know that the murderers started killing in the parents' room. Josiah was the first victim. His face was cut so badly that his eyes were destroyed.
Ooh.
During the attack, the killer gouged the ceiling with the axe. This showed the force of the attack. My thoughts, Tammy's, someone didn't like Josiah as much as we thought. Sarah was next to be attacked with the blade of the axe. It would be discovered that only the parents were killed with the blade of the axe. Now that's kind of brutal and cold.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if those gouges in the ceiling are still there today, or if any renovations got done and removed them.
That would be interesting to find out.
Hey, Steven. We got Steven on here as well. We're getting a nice little crowd now.
We're getting a good crowd. Sarah was next to be attacked with the blade of the axe. It would be discovered that only the parents were killed with the blade of the axe. The killer moved on to the kids' room. All 4 of the more children were bludgeoned to death in their beds while they slept. They would never know what happened.
Yes, poor kids. Too young to go.
So instead of being hit with the axe, they were bludgeoned with the other side of the axe. That's just cold. That
I don't know which would be worse, the axe side or the back side.
The killer returned to Josiah and Sarah's room and whacked them some more.
Like the first time wasn't enough. He just had to go back and just pure pleasure.
That's some pent up rage. I'm going to hit you with an axe and whack, 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 whack. And I'm going to go over here and do this and pop, 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 pop. And then come back over and go whack, whack, whack some more.
God almighty.
I don't know about you, but I think whoever did this really must have had a problem with that couple. That seems like a major overkill moment.
Yeah, think?
I think Tammy's hit the mark on that one. It is a major overkill moment. When the killer got done with the second attack on the couple, they went down to the guest room. It was thought that everyone was asleep except for Lena. They found defensive wounds on her arm. Without getting into graphic details, Tammy, you let us down on that one. There was some evidence that Lena may have been molested. Oh, I didn't read the rest of that one.
Yeah,
okay.
I was gonna say, you should have read just a little bit farther.
I should have read just a little bit farther in that one.
Tammy did well with not putting in details.
She did that. She did good on that one. I take that back, Tammy. You did a good job on
keeping sensitive.
In a weird moment, a 4-pound slab of bacon was taken from the icebox and laid next to the axe left in the girls' guest room. Why would you leave bacon next to the axe in the...
Yeah,
That's a violation of bacon policy. You don't just leave bacon out, you cook it up and eat it.
right. But there was untouched food and bloody water on the kitchen table?
Yeah, the police also found untouched food and bloody water on the kitchen table. So,
Were they having a meal before they went to bed, or were preparing for the next morning, I should say?
I mean, if it's untouched food, maybe the killer made himself a sandwich.
With said bacon?
Well, I mean, he left the bacon set aside, so maybe he was going to make bacon and made a sandwich instead. Doesn't sound like the 4 pounds. It's a 4-pound slab of bacon from the icebox and laid it next to the axe. So no, he didn't cook up it doesn't sound like he cooked the bacon. That's a prime offense right there. Not only have you murdered a bunch of people, but you violated bacon policy and not cooked the bacon.
4 pounds of bacon.
4 pounds of bacon. That's a crime against humanity.
Right. I agree with you there.
I mean, you've already killed a bunch of people, but now you violated the bacon sanctuary, the bacon code. And bloody water on the kitchen table. So maybe this guy made himself a sandwich.
Washed his hands?
Washed his hands, maybe his face. I mean, blood's going to get everywhere.
Yeah.
And of course, Tammy goes on with one of the bizarre things found in the house, not besides the bacon left to the side or a bloody water. Is that a cup of bloody water? Bloody water on the kitchen table.
Yeah.
So yeah, he probably washed himself clean and then fixed himself a sandwich. One of the bizarre things found in the house was that every mirror in the entire home was covered up with blankets and garments. The dressers were even gone through to find items to cover up the mirrors with. Tammy did some additional research on why mirrors may be covered. I read that in some cultures, mirrors are covered during a death to prevent the spirit from seeing its own reflection, which is thought to trap it in the world of the living or cause it to become disoriented. I was just going to say that, Tammy, but you kind of beat me to it. Which is the thing that you during a wake or a funeral, you should be going through and covering the mirrors during said wake in somebody's house so that the spirit is not locked within said mirror. But the other theory is that, you cover them so that the spirit gets trapped in the world of living, which would cause ghosts. Or become disoriented. Another theory was that the killer may cover the mirrors out of guilt or shame for their actions, especially if the victim was known to them. This act can be a symbolic way to avoid looking at the consequences of their deeds. Yet another belief is that if the soul of the deceased looks in the mirror, it can get trapped in the mirror, which would lead to the spirit getting lost. And yeah, Tammy, I should have read further ahead on that one. Because you're already saying everything that I was going to say. Did the killer know the family? A relative, a member of the town, a vagrant? You not only are you killing people, but you are violating the bacon code.
We're back to the bacon.
That's 4 pounds of bacon, man.
I hear you.
That's a crime. Not just the murders. I mean, we're already bad enough that you've killed kids, you've killed a couple, you've gone on a killing spree, but then you went and you desecrated the bacon.
Yeah, off the rails.
We salute you, old bacon.
Oh, rest in peace, bacon.
It's not even fried up. I mean, he's making food, and this person sounds like more of a lunatic than we already were going to get.
Well, I guess he got a little hungry after the murders and was going to maybe cook up the bacon and decided not to at the last minute.
What, just laid it down on the next to the other bodies in the guest room with the axe? I'm just going to set these things right here. And, oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm just going to go make a sandwich. Of course, we don't know what the food was that was left behind. Was it a sandwich? Was it something?
But could it also be that the bacon and the axe could be a clue to actually who was the murderer?
It was Kevin Bacon. It was Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon is a vampire. We're saying it here now on Unleashed. The star of Footloose is a vampire.
He got loose.
And he's leaving behind bacon as a big old, you'll never guess.
Anyway.
You guys wanted serious journalism. You should have been here for the War Room.
Yeah, well, tonight's War Room wasn't all. Well, yeah. Anyway.
War Room. The first show at 7 is a little bit more serious, no music. This one we're off the rails because we're just done.
And usually I'm drinking.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So now we are going to examine the crime scene more.
Oh, geez.
Keep this in mind.
We're going to find more bacon.
Probably a lot more bacon. What did crime scene tape would not be invented until the 1960s? What did the police do in 1912 without crime tape? They let everyone and anyone go to the scene and traipse to the house to view the bodies and crimes and touch everything. The town's central telephone office called every household in town around 8:40 a.m. I can imagine it went something like this. Good morning. The Moore house over at 508 East 2nd Street was found killed by an axe murderer. You may want to stay home since the killer is at large. Lock yourself in your home until we get further word from the police. That would be an interesting phone call. So,
I have an important date. I have to go to the butcher. I need my 4 pounds of bacon.
And they're letting everybody just wander in. I'm going to walk in stores and just, oh, look, dead bodies and blood everywhere and traipse through it. And no wonder they have never solved the case. They let everybody walk through.
Yeah, you beat me to it. I was just going to say, no wonder they can't solve it after 113 years. There's no evidence left. Hey, Steven wants to know if they left less than tomatoes. Was there even refrigeration back then?
Yeah, there was the icebox.
Oh, yes, sorry.
So, not sure about the lettuce and tomato, but they left the bacon to sit on the floor uncooked. All right, so after the people get that message, they all head over to the Moore home. As you can imagine, within minutes, the home was full of nosy neighbors viewing the bodies of the dead family and touching everything.
God, people have some respect for the dead.
Hey, the crime scene was completely contaminated. The souvenir seekers even took pieces of Josiah's skull.
What? No.
Wow.
I would say that's a new way of grave robbing, but they're not even in the grave yet.
Hey, James, I just found out the family down the street got butchered by an axe murderer. You want to go down? Hey, look, there's an eyeball on the floorboard. Let's take it as a souvenir.
Why would people, honestly, why? Is it some sentimental reason?
Just a souvenir. I'm going to remember this. Look at the eyeball. I wonder who it was. I'm going to remember this later on. I'm just going to put it in my pocket.
Yeah, back in 1912 on this date, this person right here was sliced up with an axe or bludgeoned with an axe. I just had to have a piece of him.
The
Oh,
police sound a little
God.
incompetent for the time.
Yeah, you think?
Oh, and then here we go, the next line. Hundreds of people handled the murder weapon while they were trampling through the house. I can just see the bloody footprints now.
You know, with all those people in that house, taking souvenirs, handling the murder weapon, the murderer himself could have been one of those people.
Yeah,
And no one would have known.
nobody would have known. Could have been a neighbor over, 2 houses over.
Or even the next door neighbor. Oh my God. People.
But if the doors were locked, I mean, we can probably talk about this later on. Let's keep that on a little back burner. They needed a key to get in, which means that somebody would need a key to get in to do the murders, to lock the door on his way out the door after he cleaned up and fixed himself some food.
With the side of bacon, Tammy says.
4 pounds is not just a side, that's a whole meal.
Oh my God.
It took hours before Sheriff Orrin Jackson could get control over the scene. Well,
Where was he before?
yeah, where was he before? Guys, don't come in. No, put down the skull. Don't quit. Put down the axe. Put it down. Leave the bacon alone. Leave it alone. No, don't pose with the body over there. No, leave it alone. Don't go over there. No. The sheriff was not competent. The county coroner would arrive around 9 a.m., so we've got a good half hour at least of people just wandering through, posing with the bodies, taking parts of the bodies. Hey, everybody get a picture of me with the murder axe. Me. God, this is just incompetence. Oh, crap. So that's 9 a.m. Dr. Lindquist, Officer Horton, and Sheriff Jackson met to review the collected information that's already just not viable. The coroner was upset that the townsfolk were interfering in the house. What do you expect? The National Guard was called in, and by 10:30 a.m., they had finally established a perimeter to protect the scene.
You don't need to protect anymore. It's all just jacked. There's nothing to protect.
You've lost everything. That's 2 hours until you finally got it under control. So how many extra people are walking through blood puddles, leaving footprints, moving the bodies, taking bits and pieces that are vital evidence?
Oh, really? Go a little bit farther down into this. Oh my.
National Guard, the local druggist, a hobby photographer showed up to take photos. He was sent away. He was told that taking photos was too ghoulish.
Too ghoulish, but yet people were going in there taking skulls of the dead person.
The police also knew that many drugstores at the time sold postcards of crime scenes on a regular basis. This is gross incompetence. They've lost the integrity of the crime scene. Dr. Lindquist called a coroner's jury to view the scene and the bodies that have already been moved all over the place. This would be what is considered an inquest today. There's a group that helps determine the cause of death and the circumstances around it. Axe to the face. There you go. I did your job. It was after 10 p.m. before the bodies were taken to the makeshift morgue set up at the local fire station. So
12, 13 hours?
Yeah. And 2 hours of people tromping through the house. It would take another 4 hours to get all the bodies transported. crazy to think the whole town got to see all the gore and horrific scenes on display. Imagine all the gossip and conversation going on.
It takes 4 hours to get all those bodies. Where was this local fire station? How far away was it?
This whole thing is just a giant fumble. They should be teaching this in the police academies on what not to do. Now, I understand it was early 1900s, but come on.
Yeah. I mean, all joking aside, I mean, there's been no justice for this family.
No,
it's just tragic. I mean, like I said, all joking aside, I feel for him. I deep down do. It's just, yeah.
Well, I mean, even if we go with the mirror theory that you're covering them and the spirits are left there, you know, your souls aren't going to be able to rest unless you got justice. And there's no way to get justice.
Yeah.
You know, the person that did all this can never stand trial.
Nope.
Even if you had DNA samples that you can retest today to correlate from back then, and the whole town would be guilty because everybody handled the axe. All right, now, how would a murderer go through the creaking farmhouse, hitting the ceiling while slaying Josiah, and not wake up anyone? There is a theory on that. Could the murderer have put sedatives in the milk or cocoa ingested by the family that night before bed? They didn't do toxicology reports as part of routine autopsies back then. Which is a possible thought here. So if nobody's waking up and you're putting an axe through a ceiling, you're making noise on the swing.
Right.
You know, thunk, thunk. And I mean, the minute you start hacking one person, the wife would probably wake up. And then even if the wife didn't wake up, then the kids would probably have to hear something. You're making noise.
Uh-huh.
So maybe there would be the sedatives, which would lead back to somebody that the family knew and would have a key. During the investigation, an imprint in the hay was found in the barn next to a knothole. It is believed that the killer had been watching the family for some time. The cigarettes that were found in the attic made him think that the killer got in the house through a window or unlocked back door and lied in wait for the family to get home from church and eventually to bed. So now we've got possible how he got in the house. He snuck in, hid upstairs. There were a couple curious pieces of evidence found. Upstairs, there was a gas lamp with this glass chimney removed and the wick turned down. This would be so that it would only give the faintest bit of light. A piece of keychain was found downstairs. Apparently did not belong to any of the family. 13 people were interviewed on June 11th as potential witnesses. Who may have done it? Now we're going to play Clue. There are 3 major suspects in the murders. 3 totally different types of people. 3 very different motives. The first suspect was a politician that Josiah worked for. His name was Frank Jones, the owner of an implement company. Apparently, Josiah quit his job to open his own company. He really upset his boss when he was able to take the very lucrative John Deere franchise with him. Josiah was also rumored to be a naughty boy and had an affair with Jones's daughter-in-law, Donna, a vivacious woman believed to have had several affairs. This added more fuel to the already lit fire. A detective agency that investigated accused Frank and his son Albert of hiring a hitman to take out Josiah. Neither of these men were arrested. The hitman was Blackie Mansfield. He was arrested in 1916 as a suspect in the murders. Along with the Moore family killings, Detective Wilkerson, who was working on this case, believed that Mansfield also killed his wife, infant child, and his in-laws. The says 2014. I believe that's 1914. It is also thought he may have been responsible for a string of other axe murders. Wait, no, it probably is 2014 because Frank Jones was now an Iowa senator as well as a businessman when the community began to think that Jones was possibly personally involved in some way. His public career was destroyed and his private life tarnished. So I think that is 1914. Dun, Frank. The second suspect was a traveling minister named Reverend George Kelly. He was in town the night of the murders. In fact, he was at the church the family was at. As a youth, he suffered a mental breakdown. When he got older, George became a peeping Tom and a sexual deviant. He displayed a fascination with the case. The English-born Kelly pretended to be a Scotland Yard investigator to get into the crime scene. A week after the murders, he sent a bloody shirt to a drugstore for cleaning. When he was finally arrested for suspicion of the murders, he confessed after hours of interrogation. He said that a demon made him do it. 2 separate juries decided that police coerced him. He recanted his statement. One trial ended in a hung jury and the other in acquittal. He ended up in a mental institution. Reverend George Kelly, you're kind of a suspect right now.
Yeah.
Frank, you're a suspect right now. The whole town is a suspect right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say suspects town. How big is this town? What's the population of this town? Do we know that?
It sounds like it's a pretty small town if it takes 4 hours to move bodies to a makeshift morgue, and
yeah,
you can't lock down an area effectively. So it sounds like it's going to be a small little place. The third suspect, Henry Lee Moore. He was not related to the Moore family. He was convicted of the axe murder of his family and grandmother several months after the Moore killings. Years before, he had a habit of visiting morgues and looking at dead bodies.
Okay.
Wow, that's a good hobby. I'm going to go to a morgue and view dead bodies. What?
As long as he ain't doing nothing to said bodies.
I don't know. I haven't got that far down the paragraph here. Years before, he had a habit of visiting morgues and looking at dead bodies. A federal officer assigned to the case said that Moore may be a serial killer. Recent murders in Villisca could be another case. In a killing spree at the age of 8, he started keeping a scrapbook of famous murder cases. He had run-ins with the law. He is rumored to have fathered a child with the underage daughter of a farmer. He's a convicted forager that was released in May 1911. In September that year, an axe murder in Colorado. Happened the same month, he got hired by the railroad. Another axe murder happened months later in Illinois. A week later in Kansas, a family of 5 was murdered while they slept, just a few days before the Moore family died in Villisca. Another couple was killed in Kansas. Henry wanted to marry a 16-year-old girl in 1917, but she rejected him. The reason, he didn't have a home of his own. Quote, "Don't worry, soon I will have my own house," unquote, he assured her. He took his rusty coal axe and killed his mom and 82-year-old grandmother in their home. The guy left blood everywhere in the hotel he stayed at. His clothes were bloody, and he was one that discovered the bodies. Not looking good for you, Henry.
Yeah.
Moore was never convicted or charged with the possible 4 crimes and 22 deaths the investigators were looking at him for. We got another suspect written in a book, The Men from the Train by Rachel McCarthy James and Bill James. They researched and found that the Villisca murders had the same things in common with various others. The killer locked the door behind him. The windows and the bodies were covered, and a lantern was taken from a house and left somewhere outside. It was a case of an elderly couple killed 2 years before in the Marshalltown area. It had many similarities to the Villisca case. The book, they say, it's possible that one man could have committed dozens of murders over several years in several states. Oh, yeah, he's riding the rails, which would be the thing is, how close to the major rail line is this town to everything else?
Yeah, where all the murder, yeah.
Because there would be your getaway.
Absolutely, it would be.
Uh, the man they were referencing was connected to a family slaying in Massachusetts in 1897. Apparently, he was living with a family that were all murdered. He was seen at the house that night and was the only one not killed. He left the crime scene for the train. The man was Paul Mueller. The James duo believes that he likely committed 14 murders with a total of 59 victims. He also claimed he may be responsible for another 25 killings, resulting in 94 more victims. And here we go. Here's a tie. We love things that tie together.
Ah, yes.
Another very interesting suspect was connected to another recent haunting story we did. Lizzie and Emmy Borden's Uncle John Morse was considered a possible suspect. People that were familiar with the Borden axe murders in Fall River, Massachusetts, considered him very suspicious and secretive after his former brother-in-law and second wife were murdered. He lived in Iowa and had ties to the area. He was eliminated as a suspect when the investigators found out that he had died just 3 months before the Moore murders. Why would you suspect somebody who's already dead?
Incompetence, remember?
Incompetence, news probably doesn't travel as fast. There's no internet.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Who do you think did it? What suspect made you think, oh my gosh, it was him? I'm going to add a little something here that I got to backtrack just a wee bit.
Please tell me you're not going back to the bacon.
It's all about the bacon. I would like to possibly throw in Josiah's brother Ross. He had a key to the place.
Mm-hmm.
It's early in the morning. He comes pretty quick. He's called upon. He's there. It sounds like he's there. So 7 a.m. Let's look at our timeline. 7 a.m. That's where Mary Peckham goes over. And then he is right there. And the cops don't get there till, what was it, 8:30? They finally get there.
Let's see.
Phone calls went out at 8:40.
Yeah.
So, did the brother live close? Did he live far away? Why was he there so quick?
Did he actually live that close?
I don't know.
I mean, if it's said, quote unquote, small town. But most small towns, though, some houses, farmland and stuff like that, the houses are a pretty far distance away.
So you've got a lot of possible suspects. Yes, I believe it was Lizzie Borden's uncle who came back from the dead to continue his vile axe spree.
Mm-hmm.
Throw it in the mix. You never know.
Right. Oh, man.
But the house is still filled with ghostly encounters that has been lived in, but people never stay around for long. The disembodied footsteps, things moving around, and voices that would be enough to scare most people away, except for the king and I, that would be in there going, would you just like to say that again?
Mm-hmm.
Then add on apparitions. I see no problem with this. Shadows. Still no issues. We're there. Josh Logan just joined. Wasn't there a priest who was a suspect? Yep. We talked about the priest. He was a peeping Tom.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that the killer was watching them. So, possible suspect. Even bad vibes, and it's a very haunted place you may not want to live in. We would. Ghost hunting shows often cover this haunted location. There was one instance. Julianne says, I thought it was a brother. Yes, the brother we actually threw in the mix as a possible suspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've never solved this thing. There's so many possibilities, and the fact that they've
contaminated the crime scene, let people take body parts and
handle the axe.
Yeah.
Probably taking pictures. Hey, I'm going to pop up a body and I'm going to hold the axe. And
yep. No problem.
We're just going to take pictures of everything. There was one instance where a man stayed at the home for an overnight ghost hunt, but was inexplicably stabbed himself.
What?
Yeah. The murder house sits in the middle of a residential neighborhood. It is great and cozy inside and in pristine condition. The barn features a sales booth, gift shop, and a bathroom, because of course it does. You can take regular day tours or spend $400. We looked it up. It's now $5.99 to stay overnight in the house, which is popular with ghost hunters. Here, it's another location for the great DBK and Guardian Angel Paranormal. Bucket list of places to visit. We're going to skip out on Skeptics Corner. We're going to talk about on the murderhouse.com/visit. You can book a stay, book a tour. Tammy molesting a 12-year-old. That was, I think it was the preacher. So, as always, there is a lot of, it's another place that's been turned into a bed and breakfast, and you kind of understand we've talked about the Conjuring House and some other places that are supposedly haunted, some lighthouses that are now bed and breakfasts. The Villisca Axe Murder House, their website says, stay overnight at Villisca Axe Murder House if you dare. See why Villisca is known as one of America's most haunted houses and learn of the tragic and brutal murders that took the lives of 8 innocent, unsuspecting Iowans while in their sleep, including 6 children. The house is in its original condition at the time of the murders, which means it does not have plumbing or electricity. Don't worry, we provide a restroom next door and a power bank for your convenience. And the house has some air conditioning and heating. Actually, certainly we're discussing that right now with the rates. Free parking is available on site, and cots are available as an option if you have additional guests. While the Villisca Axe Murder House is not a place to get your sleep in modern luxury and is intended to be an experience, we do provide modern and comfortable beds to make you feel more comfortable and rest until the axe murder comes inside. That's not part of the deal, but kind of things it should be. There are 2 ways to stay in a Villisca Axe Murder House: rent the entire house or rent a room. Before 2024, you could only rent the entire house, which was not friendly to individuals. And we are now changing that to make it more affordable and comfortable for individuals to have their opportunity to stay the night in one of America's most haunted houses. There are 3 rooms available. Alternately, you can reserve the entire house, max capacity 12 people for your group. Each room is priced at $199 per night. $199 per night. While you can add additional persons to your reservation to join you in the experience, please note that does not mean they will have their own bed to sleep on. If they want a cot of their own, they may bring one or rent one to use. Off-season rates are November to March. Whole house on the off-season is $479.20. Each room is $159.20. Now, if you want to go during the season, you got the rooms. You have the Stillinger room, where the sisters were killed. First floor. Standard occupancy is 1 guest. Can add 2 more for $99 per person. Guests would need to rent a cot. That room goes for $199 per night. Why the 20? I don't know. It was $99 per room she had. Apparently they raised it up another 100 because, it's what we do with these haunted locations and places, and we make them into bed and breakfasts and charge insane amounts of money. Mr. and Mrs. Moore's rooms, $199 a night. This room has limited privacy, as other guests will need to walk past to get to the attic. That's right, you can go in the attic. And to the adjoining bedroom, standard occupancy is 2. Can add 2 more for $99 per person. Then you got the children's room, $199. Standard occupancy 3. Can add 1 more for $99. Second floor room next to Mr. and Mrs. Moore's room. Or during the season, you can rent the whole shebang. $599. Max occupancy 5. Can add up to 7 more for $99 a night. Some of the general rules: absolutely no candles in the house or barn. Dispose of all garbage outside. Do not touch window shades or mirror coverings. So now they still want you to keep the covers on the mirrors. So that leads back to the thing of, okay, well, let's not do that. Let's not take them off and unleash the spirits that are already unleashed. Stephen Thomas, do they serve bacon for breakfast? You know what, Stephen? They should. And if they don't,
They better.
they better. I'm not giving them 20 cents. I'm not giving them the 20 cents unless their bacon is involved. Because it's got to be involved.
It's got to be 4 pounds of bacon.
It's got to be 4 pounds of bacon. That's all I want for breakfast. 4 pounds of bacon. Make it happen or you don't get my 20 cents. No smoking, vaping, or burning incense inside. Please refrain from leaving candy and toys in the house for the kids. Now you've lost me. A lot of places where there were children's spirits, you're allowed to, leave little trinkets for the kids and keep them happy. Apparently this one, they're like, no, kids don't get anything. Yes, Josh Logan, you guys do own a meat cutter. Yes, Josh, you may slice up that 4 pounds of bacon. Add-ons available. Ghost hunting gear. Cots, additional people, 2.5-hour private tour, history and hunting tours. So, they're kind of running this as a fairly decent business, really. Tours, trying to look up that price, just in case people wanted to, you can book a private tour. Here we go. So you can do a cemetery tour, a GPS audio-guided and private tour, the Villisca Cemetery, Tombstone Town tour.
Is that where the family's buried?
I believe they're in the cemetery. GPS-guided, auto-narrated tour with photo and video available to everyone on iOS and Android devices. On the Junket app, this tour can be taken anytime as long as the cemetery is physically accessible. Once you purchase the tour, you have 7 days to use it after redeeming it in your email. In-person private walking tours to the cemetery are available for starting at $300 for up to 10 people and $20 for each additional person. So you're paying $300 to download an app to go walk around the town. A guide to the town tour is provided at no extra cost, but we do not guide you to the locations in the town, so we do not provide vehicle tours. These tours meet at the cemetery entrance, and the tour involves a round trip walk about 1.5 miles. Tour guides give you the graves of the Moors and the Silligers, one of the suspects, Mary Peckham, Civil War General William W. Ellis grave, and memorial sculpture Moore. The town tour includes the Presbyterian Church, the parsonage where suspect, traveling preacher, and confessor Reverend George Kelly stayed, the Jones store, the Moore store, and a few bonus locations. Daytime house tours. Let's see if it even says anything. Daytime house tour is the most popular tour, and the only one offered since the house opened to the public in the 1990s. This tour now provides self-guided aid and the option for people to book a guided private tour. Each tour will take guests through the house as they learn about the history, mystery, and tragedy of the events that took place in June of 1912. Of course, we'll cover some of the hauntings that still occur and have happened in the house as a result. But I have to book it to figure out how much that costs. Oh, hopefully it's not as bad as the private house tour. Tours are guided, available up to 10 people for $300. Additional people may be added for $20 up to a total of 16 people. So they're really kind of getting like 300 seems to be the baseline for the tours. 600 seems to be to rent the whole place, or basically rounded up to 200 to rent a room.
Mm-hmm.
So they've taken some and they've kind of put a lot of add-ons to it. And they're not leaving anything for the kids kind of... Come on, the kids' spirits need a little something. Just be nice to them.
Julianne asked, can you not go to the cemetery by yourself at no cost? I would think so.
I don't think they could actually stop you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know of any cemetery that would charge you to go in and see the family plot. I've not heard of it. Oh man.
So I guess we can go to Skeptic's Corner.
It's got to be the brother-in-law.
You think it's the brother-in-law or the brother?
Yeah, the brother-in-law.
The one who had the keys?
Yeah. Because who's to say that, well, wait, if somebody was in the house already, yeah, I'll leave it. Josh says it's the priest.
It's the priest.
Maybe the brother-in-law and the priest together.
Well, we know that whoever it was got into the house.
Back door, open window, maybe.
Back door, open window, was sitting upstairs smoking.
Maybe
but that's the other thing.
Maybe through the front door with a key.
But if he's upstairs smoking.
Yeah, how would you not know that?
Because if you're smoking in an attic and you're going through cigarettes, you're going to be leaving a smell.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, the father, Josiah, he smoked in the house. Then he would, whatever else you did as the murderer, waiting for everyone to go to sleep. And if you've been watching him long enough, you would know, okay, I can smoke in the house because the dad smokes in the house, so they're not going to smell it.
Okay.
Here's a little bit of extra information.
What you got?
So we've got a little bit about Ross. At first, Ross saw nothing wrong. Then he went into the first floor bedroom and saw a sheet pulled over the bed where the Stillingers laid. A hand fell lifeless below it. He could smell a dreadful blend of copper and blood. Ross immediately ran out and told Peckham to call the town's marshal to call everyone. So the sisters were killed, and then the sheet was pulled over the bodies. Sheets over the mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
If we ever went, Josh, this message is for you. No uncovering mirrors. Plenty of Hollywood movies. As crazy as we are, we're not going to undo the mirror.
We'll have a little respect. Is that what you're trying to say?
We'll have a little bit of respect. We don't want to unleash anything. Why can't you leave a toy? Julie, I think the reason why you can't leave any toys or candy is if everybody did that, Josh said, I'll do it. I know at St. Ignatius Hospital, there was a kid's room and everyone brings a little toy in. They allow it, but the room is kind of getting filled up with kids' toys. So because this is a bed and breakfast as well as a tourist spot,
They don't want a collection of...
They probably don't want a full room of toys. Which, I mean, if some ghost investigator was stabbed staying there, you probably wouldn't want to bring any like little cars or something because you have to go outside to use the porta-john and you'd be walking on a thing full of Legos and mobile cars and spirits trying to kill you with toys. I don't know. Just reading all this stuff, it's with jokes aside,
Yeah.
this is a horrible thing that happened. The police were very slow to gain order. Julie says they can rotate them in and out, little stuffed toys. We might have to go and actually just hide a little teddy bear or something somewhere. Of course, if we did, and then the people that own the house found a teddy bear somewhere, no, we didn't do that. We forgot all about it at that point.
Right. But
no, what this family has not had the justice they need. The police were horrible, Julie. They should have had this house locked down. It should not have been something for people to come in and out and gawk and steal bits of skull, handle the axe.
And basically what amounts to about 16 hours total to move the bodies out of that house.
Yeah. You know, and you didn't record anything. Julie, do they have cameras in the house watching you? I would hope not. Especially if these are the bedrooms that...
Yeah, because that'd be invasion of privacy. They can't do that. They could have them in the common areas, but
yeah. Well, I know for a fact that the brothel up in Ketchikan, they have cameras everywhere, but it's not a bed and breakfast. Josh Logan says, "Let's go get justice, guys." You know what? I'm all for that. This would be a place that we would probably need to get into.
And rent the whole place out and do, several teams. I'm sure we know quite a few that would like to join us. Right, Signe?
We already know Josh is down for it.
Josh is always down for he's a glutton for punishment. But yeah, this family really needs to have justice served.
Justice, they need closure, they need a lot of stuff because their entire tragedy was just not handled correctly.
Well,
it's a crime, it's a tragedy, all jokes aside, all bacon jokes aside.
Yeah, all bacon, yeah. I mean, for me, honestly, I think the most disturbing part of it is them allowing people come in and take body parts. That should not happen anywhere. It shouldn't at any time in, the early 1900s or 20th century, whatever. It doesn't matter when. It's just totally horrible. It should not have been allowed. If the police would have done their jobs properly from, the moment they got there, because they could have done something. They chose not to. Yeah.
But we're going to go ahead and we're going to leave you with those thoughts. And always, James has the final word.
Oh, well. Keep your cryptids close and tight and hug them all night. Until next week. See you then.
See you later, everybody.